Hey everyone, I'm Breanna from Boom, and welcome to the Just Beyond Press Junket edition of Boom Chats. I have the pleasure and honor of speaking with R.L. Stine, the writer and creator of the Just Beyond graphic novels, Seth Grahame-Smith, the executive producer, and cast members Cedric Joe, Lexi Underwood, Gabriel Bateman, Prishkulnik, and Megan Stott. I hope you all enjoy it as much as I did, and be sure to check out Just Beyond streaming now on Disney+. Hi, everyone. I am Breanna from Boom Studios. We do Boom Chat over here on our end, and I am so thrilled to meet the both of you. This is just so exciting today.
Thank you.
Bob, I wanted to start with you. I love Goosebumps and I love Fear Street, and I'm so excited that people are going to get to see Just Beyond on Disney+. My first question for you is, how is the process of translating a graphic novel onto the screen different from the process that you've been through on, say, Goosebumps or Fear Street?
I think you'll have to ask Seth about the adapting part. I wrote the graphic novels and turned it all over. I love seeing what other writers do when they take a Goosebumps book or something and turn it into a TV show. It's very exciting for me to see what other direction authors do with my work. I've been so lucky because it always turns out I've had such good luck.
I mean, they're all so fun and so wonderful. So Seth, I want to direct that question at you then. What was it like taking it from graphic novel to the screen?
Well, when we started, there were, I think, 4, graphic novels, maybe 2 at the time we started. And so what we did was we looked at the tone and the spirit of what Bob was doing in the Just Beyond graphic novels, and then we tried to tell original stories that felt like they belonged to that same world, and really it was just a matter of getting a bunch of really smart writers together and having them sort of tell me, what they thought would be great topics for us to explore and great genre conventions for us to play in.
And it's so effective. I mean, each of these stories is so so fun, but also a little spooky, but not too scary. So I wanted to ask you, I know that you've done some past work on horror films. So did that help you translate things so that they're not too scary for the audience?
Well, I don't know if it helped or if it was a challenge, because, in some of the stuff that I've worked on or been a part of in the past, you're not really restricted when it comes to intensity or graphic imagery or things like that. But here, because we're in the Just Beyond universe, we're in the R.L. Stine universe, we're on Disney+, of course, we're not going to do something that would be too intense or, too graphic, certainly. And, you want to give kids a real scare. You want to give families a real scare and a real fun, intense experience, but not in a dangerous way. And so I think I had to retrain myself a little bit as a writer in terms of, how do I scare people without necessarily going too far?
Yeah, that's the thing about my books. I always describe them as safe scares. And that's
what I was going to ask you, Bob. I was going to ask you, so did you help out with figuring out how to make it kids scary level, and what input did you have?
Well, I read the scripts and could comment on what is it too scary, it's not scary enough. It's a very delicate balance, because if you're too scary, it gets silly, for one thing, and it's not right. And if it isn't scary enough, of course, it's boring. So the trick is to just have that right degree. But I think kids see my books as safe scares because they know there's going to be all kinds of screams and twists and turns, but there's going to be a happy ending. Every single book has a happy ending. Every story.
And to that point, I wanted to ask my final question. So each of these episodes has such a wonderful message for kids about different parts of life and growing pains and changing. I mean, that couldn't just be a happy accident, right? That was planned.
It was part of the challenge that we gave ourselves. How do we do something that kids can relate to, right? And how can we do it in a way where it doesn't feel messagey or preachy in any way? We really wanted that to be the sort of subtle undercurrent. And really the experience of the show is the fun of being scared, the fun of, the intensity of it, and even the humor of it. And if kids take away something positive, or families have some kind of experience of watching this together and discussing something, that's great. But the really important thing is that we want these to be a lot of fun to watch.
And fun they are. I had the best time watching these. I'm so excited for kids and families to get to experience these. It's so great to see Just Beyond go from graphic novel at Boom up on the screen with Disney Plus. Thank you both so much for your work on this. And I'm so excited that we get to share this with the world now. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Lexi, Cedric. It is so lovely to meet you. I am Breanna from Boom Studios. So we are the publishing company that produced Just Beyond, the graphic novel. So this is super, super exciting for me to be here to get to talk to the both of you. So my first question for you both, Lexi, I'm going to start with you. Have either of you read any graphic novels? Do you have any favorites or anything that you would like to read?
Growing up, I read a couple of graphic novels, especially, I did actually read Just Beyond when I was younger. So it was really cool then to be a part of this project. It's been like a full circle moment. But yeah, I definitely did read some, graphic novels growing up.
Oh, that's so fun. Cedric, what about you?
For me, it was more Goosebumps. I grew up, I loved R.L. Stine's, his Goosebumps book. I was a huge fan on that. And the show. So that's what
oh my gosh. I mean, same for me too. So it's crazy to go from like reading Goosebumps to now like I'm talking to y'all about an R.L. Stine show that you were in. Like this is amazing. Okay, so my next question, Lexi, I'm gonna go with you. First of all, you have an incredible voice. Your episode was so lovely. The message of the song that you sang is something that I'm sure like all kids can relate to. I know I related to it. You expressed yourself so well. Do you have a history of like live theater singing? What was that like for you?
That was, it was really awesome. I've actually never like sung in a show or, I've never done like a I don't know, like a show that incorporates music to it. And so this was this, and then I did another project for Disney. These have like been my first, but I was on Broadway actually when I was younger. I played young Nala in The Lion King on Broadway when I was 11 years old. So to be able to kind of now like show people that I can sing, because it's kind of something that I keep to myself, to be able to like share that with people now was really cool. And then Ruby Amanfu, who wrote to the song that I sing in Just Beyond, actually wrote a lot of the music in Little Fires Everywhere, which was a show that I was a part of that premiered last year. So it was also another full circle moment because we got to work together again, and then this time I actually got to sing one of her songs.
Oh, I love that. Like, seriously, that song was so beautiful and it definitely touched me. I'm so excited for kids to see that and enjoy that. And, you know, thank you for your work on that. It was just so beautiful. So Cedric, now I'm going to gush over you. All right. So first things first, this episode deals with loss. And let me tell you, as a comic collector, when that comic got thrown to the ground, I just was in physical pain.
Yeah.
It hurt me in the depths of my soul. And so like, you just portray that so wonderfully. But in all seriousness, your episode deals with a lot of loss. And you really just brought such a sense of hope and appreciation for family into the episode. What was it like for you to portray all of that on screen?
It was something that it felt similar. It wasn't far from being. It wasn't a big difference. But it was fun getting to film it, getting to bring a story like that to life and be able to show how a different way to deal with grief, and being in an alternate universe. So it was fun putting all these together and being able to bring a R.L. Stine film and people and show things that you don't see in the real world in an episode like mine. So.
It was so great. It was so cool. I loved the alternate reality version of it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect comic book episode. You just portrayed that so well. Your love of comics and everything just completely shone through. The both of you were just so, so wonderful. And I'm so thrilled for kids to see these episodes that are going to be coming out. Like, it's so exciting having been on the publishing side and seeing Just Beyond come out. And now we've got both of you as amazing actors, just bringing it to life on screen. I'm so excited. Last question. Each of these episodes really has like some life lessons that kids can take away after they watch this episode. So Lexi, what was it like for you getting to like really live through this life lesson?
Yeah, I mean, the life lesson that Ella's going through is something that I think everyone goes through at some point in their life. It's, the full message behind change. In this instance, it's dealing with the loss of a friend and how to deal with that. I know for me, that's something that I've definitely gone through, and I'm sure that the audience, especially kids watching, whether it's something that they're currently going through right now, or they've already experienced it, or they'll, possibly go through it. It was just really cool to be a part of something that, will definitely have an impact on your audience. I always say that what we do as artists is a contact sport. You want whatever you put out in the world, whatever your art that you put out in the world, you want it to stick and land on somebody, and to hopefully teach them or give them an actionable tool as to, how they can incorporate whatever they watch of yours to their own life. And so I think that that is exactly what this show does. It gives kids actionable tools and ways to kind of help or teach them a lesson, or just kind of help them go through whatever they're going through in their everyday lives, whether it's what the character is going through or it's something else.
Beautifully stated. Cedric, I've got a little bit of time left, so I want to know what that was like for you.
I mean, for me, it was, like I said, being able to tell a story through somebody else's eyes. So for my episode, it was grief and dealing with the death and something that who loved something as much as Sam, and who had the same love for comic books as him. Just being gone like that was hard for him to let go. So it was something that took time for him, and he dealt with that in a different way, which was, going into the alternate universe until he was ready to, deal with death.
Yeah. All right. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you both for your time. I really appreciate you. Thank you both for your work. And I'm so excited for people to see this on Disney+.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was great meeting you.
Hi, everyone. I am so thrilled to meet each and every one of you. This is so exciting. I'm Breanna from Boom Studios. We are the publishing company that published Just Beyond. So this is so exciting to see this on the screen. This is so amazing. I can't wait for everyone to see it. So my first question for each of you is, do any of you read graphic novels, comics, or is there anything that you want to start reading or you want to get into? No judgment either way. Gabe, why don't we go with you first?
I read the Walking Dead comic / graphic novel series, and a few other things from Skybound, and then I obviously read what Just Beyond was based off of. But other than that, not really that often. I don't think that I can remember right now, at least.
Okay, you're doing great work. We love it. We love to see it. I'm just curious. Jai, what about you?
Yeah, I've read a few graphic novels. I was really into One Piece for a while. And then I read American Born Chinese, which I loved. And then I also, of course, read Just Beyond. That was really exciting. I'd be really interested in looking at some of the more, I guess, vintage graphic novels, like the Krypton series from DC. Those are really old, but
Great
I'd love
choices,
to read those.
My goodness. All right, Megan, what about you?
Read some graphic novels. Most of them I've read because of my brothers. They used to read a lot of graphic novels when they were younger, so I would just kind of steal them and take them to school with me. So that's really the only reason why I read those kind of graphic novels, but I did read R.L. Stine and like Goosebumps and The Treehouse. That's not exactly scary, but it's adventurous and it felt like a comic book. So
That's okay. I love all of these answers. This is so great. I just love to see what everyone's reading. All right. So Gabe, my next question is for you. I see that you have some experience working in horror movies. So did that help inform your work on Just Beyond?
It did and it didn't. I would say, I mean, obviously that helps carry over with any scenes where I have to be scared. You know, I'm kind of used to acting scared, but it also kind of got in the way a little bit because I'm used to getting in that mindset and bringing a certain performance that wouldn't really be appropriate for this show. So I kind of had to get out of that mindset first and blend that with family and lighthearted and action and comedy. So it kind of got in the way a little bit, but I would say it didn't and it didn't. It helped and it kind of messed me up.
That's so great though, because I love that like now you're learning and you're growing and you have other things to add on. So great. Well done. Thank you for your work on it. I loved all of the episodes that I watched. Jai, my next question's for you. Your character Luna, I would have to say her aesthetic was my absolute favorite. Oh my goodness. Did you get a say in any of the aesthetic or like what was that like?
Well, we had a really amazing wardrobe and hair and makeup department. So I cannot say that I influenced anything. It was totally them and our showrunner, and they did an incredibly fantastic job. I'm actually really bummed that we only get to see Luna in 2 outfits because the styles that they pulled for me were amazing. I mean, there was a ringleader type witch and like a Moira Rose kind of witch. And I was so excited to see which ones they were going to choose. And I'm not disappointed at all. I definitely need to adopt some of Luna's aesthetic into my own life because I miss it.
So great. Oh my gosh. And the lore that came out of this episode was so fun. Do you have any favorite tidbits of that like new witch lore?
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Well, I love how they kind of took American history with the Salem witch trials and reinterpreted how that could have gone if people weren't psycho and accusing others of being witches for reading a book or dancing or owning a doll. Some of the lore that came out of it, I would identify as a baby witch myself. I dabble in tarot reading and crystal spell casting a bit. So I hope people, I guess, take whatever resonates with them and adopt it into their own sense of spirituality in their own lives.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Megan, I have to say that your episode was probably the scariest one for me. I totally got by the jump scare in it. It was amazing. Was the monster as terrifying in real life as it was on screen?
For me, no, because I knew the person underneath it.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but he's British and he was the sweetest, tallest man I have ever seen. So it was like, I was like, and every time I had to like be scared of him, I'd just be like, hi, how you doing? How you doing? Because I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. And it was hard to like actually not laugh because I knew what he looked like underneath.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Okay, so each of these episodes really just has moments of like lessons that kids can learn. And I mean, Gabe, yours was like family and like owning who you are as a person. And Jai, yours was really just like owning who you are and your history and whomever that is. Megan, yours was like facing your fears. All of you did such a great job in expressing all of this on screen. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your work. It was amazing. And Megan, I just have one other question for you. I want to know, do you have any cheer experience? And was that you getting tossed in the air?
Yeah, I did cheer for almost 4 or 5 years, and it was fully competition, cheer, dance, and gymnastics. So I definitely remember a lot, and it was tons of fun, but some parts we had a harness, and then thankfully the director and Seth said, okay, we're going to do it without the harness, which was tons of fun, and they let me go up, and I was able to do it, and I've done like basket tosses and stuff like that before, so, I mean, I can't put my leg to my head anymore. I'm not that stretchy anymore, so it was actually a ton of fun, and one of the points where you see me going up, it is actually is actually me going up.
That is such fun trivia. Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you all for your work. And I'm so excited for everybody to see Just Beyond on Disney+.
Thanks, Breanna.
Thank you.
Thank you.